Welcome back. This is Mark Ponzio coming to you from the Brooklyn Crokinole Studios. We have an update for you regarding our impending 2024 Brooklyn Crokinole Doubles Championship, which will be happening next month. But first off, let me just give you a quick overview of how this little update is going to go. First is our announcements, which we'll get to in a minute. Second thing is we're going to go over a couple of changes with our sponsors. We have some additional sponsors to discuss with you and one or two things about the raffle prizes. Next is the jackpot games. We've mentioned that we have jackpot games, but we haven't really gone over the specifics there. Additionally, we'd like to talk about our somewhat elusive Sunday brunch. We did leave it out of the last update, but that was done on purpose. The Sunday brunch is kind of a special event. And I just wanted to give it its own 5 minutes to sort of explain to everyone so you can really appreciate what we're doing and why and, know what you're getting into. Additionally, the rules for the tournament, there isn't much to go on that, but we'll get to that at the end as well. Okay, so moving right along into the announcements. There's maybe two or three things here. First off, our event is on September 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Registration, this is an important announcement here. Registration and essentially the partial refund deadline will close on September 6th, 2024. So if you are interested and you have not yet registered, or God forbid, you have to change plans and something came up and you can't come, you got to let us know by September 6th, or we can't ensure that you get any of your ticket price back or your registration price back. Additionally, the hotel block at the La Quinta, which was mentioned in our previous update email or update video, will be closing on August 30th. So if you haven't reserved your hotel room, please get on top of that now. You can check back at our previous update video. It has all the details for reserving the hotel. Okay, so moving on to sponsors. We'd like to thank our newest sponsors for the event, Brown Castle Games and The Cake is a Lie. Many of you will know Brown Castle Games, the makers of excellent crokinole products, including a beautiful crokinole bag. And many of you will probably not know The Cake is a Lie. The Cake is a Lie is essentially a community-based board game-centric tattoo parlor in Brooklyn, here in Brooklyn. And it's run by a woman named Chris, who's a very talented artist who volunteered some time and effort to produce the following logo. Here it is for our championship. So this is exactly what we discussed and exactly what we asked for. So we have the beautiful Brooklyn Bridge arches, which are so iconic to Brooklyn. We have our championship crown, and of course our crokinole board at the bottom, signifying our own brand of insanity. Okay, so moving right along, just so you know, Brown Castle Games has donated one of their wonderfully well-designed bags. Their bags are simply the best in the business. If you can look at the bottom left image, there's like a rubber foot on the bottom, so when you put the bag down, it sort of has something to rest on. There's zipper pockets all over the front of the bag. There's actually a couple of internal pockets as well. The bag is snugly fit to a round board, and additionally it has a sturdy shoulder strap with good hardware on it. I will tell you that this is by far and away one of the best crokinole carry bags available. It's well designed, it's sturdy, and I know so many players who swear by them, including myself. I've always thought that this is one of the best bags on the market. Okay, so moving along to our jackpot games discussion. One thing that you might note that's a little different in Brooklyn than you may have seen before with jackpot games is that all of our jackpot games are going to be $5 to enter. I've been up to the U.S. Open. Maybe you've been there before, or another event where jackpot games were held, and the entry into each game is $1 or $2. We do things a little differently in Brooklyn because essentially what we want you to do when you think about doing a jackpot shot is we want you to be tempted to really take a bad shot, because most of the time jackpot shots are sort of not the best thing to do strategically in a game. But if there's $100 or $50 or $75 sitting on that one shot, you might be very tempted to try and do a jackpot when it might not be the smartest move in the game. So yeah, these are definitely going to be higher payouts than you're used to. And, the other side of that is a little more expensive to get into, but you don't have to play any of them if you don't want to. And you're welcome to play all of them if you do want to. The jackpot games we have specifically, I'm going to give you the names. I'm going to show you some short clips of some of them. They're fairly easy to get through, but we call the impossible angle, the triple threat, the button bounce, the long bump and run. We have a shoot the moon, which is credited to Extra Point New York because they're the ones that essentially taught us this one. And we have the 6 perfect shots. So let's go through each one of these briefly and kind of explain what they are, and then you'll see a short video on some of them. So this one was the impossible angle. This is essentially just an angle in shot. However, we're a bit more strict in Brooklyn on how we do this one. You can't touch anything else when you do this angle in. It can't bounce off another peg or a piece or anything else. You have to go directly from the piece you're hitting into the 20 hole. Additionally, the piece you're shooting at has to be completely and specifically in the 5. It can't be on any lines. It can't be, like anywhere other than in the 5 area. Okay, so moving along. Well, actually, let's first show a quick video of the impossible angle. Just so it's very obvious. I think most people will know this, but just so if anyone's not clear, it will become clear. Here we go.
There we go. That's good.
Okay, the next one is the triple threat. This is pretty straightforward. It's a triple takeout. The rules for this one are that you have to get 3 of your opponent's discs off the board, not 4, not 5, not any other crazy number, exactly 3 of your opponent's discs off the board, and your shooter disc has to stay on the board. But it's exactly 3 of your opponent's discs off the board, and your shooter has to stay on. We also have a quick video clip of this. You can take a look. This is just one example. Okay, and the next one is the button bounce. They have a different name for it up in Extra Point, New York. But essentially, it's you take a pegged piece, one of the buttons that's sitting up against a peg, and you bounce your shot off of it and rebound it into the 20 hole. A couple of quick notes on this. The piece can't be that far away from the peg, the peg piece you're bouncing off of. It has to be within, like, let's say, the width of a standard button laid on its edge, so less than a centimeter or so. Additionally, you have to be aiming at a piece that's up against a peg on one of the 4 pegs that are farthest away from you. The close pegs don't count. That's sort of more of an angle shot. So it has to be one of the 4 pegs that are across the board from you, essentially. And it has to be bounced off of that back into the 20 hole without any other shenanigans. It can't bounce off of any other pieces or anything in the pathway it goes. We'll show you a quick video of that as well. Next, this one's pretty straightforward. This is the bump and run. However, when we do our bump and run, we call it the long bump and run because you have to basically hit one of your own pieces that's completely and so-called naturally in the 5, not on a 5-10 line, but completely out in the 5. You have to bump it all the way into the center without hitting anything else. So it's a straight shot, it's a clean shot, and that's all you're doing. I have a quick video of that as well. Okay, you're probably familiar, if you've been to the U.S. Open, you're probably familiar with shooting the moon. This one requires that everyone sitting at the table for whatever particular doubles match you're in shoots 2 20s and gets the 20s consecutively. So essentially, this is 8 consecutive 20s. Everyone sitting at the table gets 2 of them, and you and your opponents will be splitting the winnings on this one. So this is one for the entire table, but it's one you've probably seen before and familiar with. We don't have a video of this because it's essentially self-explanatory. It's 8 open 20s, essentially. And then this is the last one. This is the 6 perfect shots. This is almost just as self-explanatory. Any one player sinks all 6 of their shots. Doesn't matter if they're tap-ins, doesn't matter if they're follow-throughs, it doesn't matter if they're open 20s. If you, as a doubles player, sink all 6 of your pieces, you have won the 6 perfect shots jackpot. Essentially, it's like a perfect round for one player, and that's the jackpot. Okay, so let's just skip right along to the Sunday brunch. As I mentioned, this was kept out of previous announcements because I just wanted to give it a little more attention than the other events, or a separate bit of attention besides the other ones. So here are the basic details. Where is it, when is it, and what is it? First off, let's start with where. It's in our Brooklyn Crokinole Club's regular meeting space. That's on 310 Greenwich Street in Manhattan, New York, 10013. It's held in the second floor community room. Please take special note. The words second floor community room are required to get through the security at the front desk, so do please remember that. Moving right along, when is it? Well, we're starting around 11. We have the room pretty much all day, so it's going to run until you have to leave, you want to leave, or you're kind of done with us. But hopefully you enjoy yourself one way or the other. Last thing is, what is it? Why is this special? Why are we doing this particular brunch? Well, we always felt that a one-day event for most crokinole tournaments wasn't quite enough. We really wanted to have a way to put like a bow on the experience, or like a button on the experience, and say, hey, you came out, you spent a day with us, we all competed, and we want this, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like a step down from the event, a good moment to really enjoy the fact that we just kind of went through this all together, and sort of look back at it fondly and say goodbye to everyone you've met and hung out with. So what we will be doing at the BCC is inviting every club member available, not just the people that participated in the tournament from the Brooklyn and New York area, to come in and help us celebrate our tournament and all the people that have traveled and come to join us. So what are we doing specifically? It's simple. We're going to give you some bagels, some coffee, some tea, and some pastries, which is just a really nice little brunch. By the way, if you don't know or you're not from the area, New York has some of the best bagels around. It's just one of those foods that has made an excellent cultural jump into New York, and you won't find bagels like this in other parts of the country. Some areas get decent bagels too, but New York's one of the best. So yeah, come and enjoy some pastries, some bagels, some coffee with us in the morning. We'll have crokinole boards out. Everyone who can make it should. We'll all hang out and have just a kind of a good day playing some crokinole. It's all casual. There's going to be no pressure, no intensity to it. It's all just a casual, friendly thank you and goodbye from the BCC to the rest of the clubs and members who came out for our inaugural event. Okay, so our regular meeting room is a little tricky to find. So I'm going to give you a couple of maps and a little quick kind of like look here sort of thing. So where is the Sunday brunch? 310 Greenwich Street, as I told you. You can GPS it, but you're still going to be confused. For context, this image shows the southern tip of Manhattan. There it is. I pointed it out. As you get a little closer, that red arrow at the top of the screen points to exactly where the building is. Don't worry, we're zooming in even more. So the thing you're going to want to look at is you're going to want to come to the corner of Greenwich Street and Duane Street. And it's where that red triple arrow is, right there. And then this is how you find us once you get there. So at that red triple arrow, again, you can see in the image, you're going to face down Duane Street, turn around, and walk all the way up to the entrance to our building. And once you get to the security desk, like I said before, you're going to ask for the second floor community room. We may or may not have people standing out there to try and guide everyone in, but we'll do our best. If you come a little later or you're a little early or something, we may not be standing there at that exact moment, but you'll know how to get in just by that. So you're going to walk to the security desk, just following this yellow arrow on the screen, and tell them that you want to go to the second floor community room. I have a little video just to show you what you're going to be on the lookout for while you're doing that. So please tune into that for a second. Okay, thank you. So as far as the rules, I don't know if we've said this, but we will be following standard NCAA tournament rules. essentially, anyone coming to this event, competing in this event, should be familiar with this. If you're not familiar with it, I urge you to go to the NCAA website and look up their rules, just to maybe brush up on what you should know or how to react or act in a tournament. You can feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. I have been on the Rules and Standards Committee, and I'm still on the Rules and Standards Committee, so I can answer a lot of your questions. So yeah, reach out to us at the BCC Facebook page. And then last but certainly not least, I just wanted to say thank you again to all of our wonderful sponsors, including The Cake is a Lie, Tracy Boards, Crokinole Depot, Brown Castle Boards, Muzzy's Crokinole Boards, Woodestic Crokinole Boards, and Rulo's Bar. All of you are helping us to make this event as amazing as possible, and we appreciate the generous donations that you've all been able to give to us in support of our event. Thank you so much to everyone, and we'll see you all next month. We may have another update right before the event with a little more information, but this should cover most of the things you need to know at this point. And if you need to look back at anything, please just look back at our YouTube channel and just rewatch the videos. Thank you so much. Take care and goodbye. See you next month.